All right, ladies and gentlemen, now onto the show. We would like to welcome Sea Dogs President and General Manager Trevor Georgie. Trevor, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you holding up there? You're still here in St. John?
Yeah, still here at home in St. John. Dev and I are just here, hunkered down. It's quiet around town. We live uptown. It's pretty quiet out there, but everything's great.
New Brunswick seems like a good place to be these days. Glad to have you here at home. Just wanted to get some updates on, I know the QMJHL released some information today about upcoming dates and times and things that are going to going on through the summer. Just wanted to get your insight on a few things and get your opinion on plans through the summer. First thing that's coming up is the draft lottery. Obviously, we've had some luck with the draft lottery over the last few seasons, including last year getting first overall with slim chances going into it. Talk to us about what the plan is, when the date is, our chances, things like that.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky last year. I don't think we were very popular at the TVA sports offices when we won the lottery, but that's okay. Yeah, so this year we have a fourth overall pick, which is a lottery pick from Baie-Comeau. We got that last season in a trade with Baie-Comeau for Alex Dorio. So it's sitting at 4. The draft lottery initially planned for a few weeks back is now going to be May 6th. I know the league's looking at a couple different scenarios of how they hold it, where they hold it, given kind of different government regulations, as you'd appreciate. But May 6th is when it's going to take place, and we'll know if we're lucky again in a couple weeks.
Now, do you have any plans? I mean, we could be anywhere from fifth to first. Fingers crossed. Is that does that hugely sway who you're looking at and kind of our options?
Well, our plan is to win the lottery and then get overall. That's the plan. Yeah, I mean, of the top 5, getting a pick in that, given where we are in our cycle and getting a top 5 pick is we're really fortunate to have that. It gives us another real quality piece to our puzzle here that we're building in St. John. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a really interesting draft from a perspective that a lot of key tournaments and key games have not, never got to be played. So I think, thankfully our scouting staff and our head scout, Anthony, has been, at every rink and every tournament and doing our research. But I think there'll be, especially in some of the later picks, I think you'll see a lot of differing opinions just because of the lack of viewings with some of these players.
Now, I know you always hear going into a draft, it's a strong draft. It's, top heavy. It's all about defensemen this year. There's some good goalies, whatever it is going into any given year. What's kind of the word on the streets, internally or kind of around the league about this year's draft?
Yeah, I mean, word on the streets is, a lot of quality blue liners, which is probably different from past seasons. But yeah, a lot of quality defensemen, and in a league that I think a lot of teams, and I know it because of the phone calls we get for our guys, in a league where everyone is looking for blue line help, I think it'll be a good draft for teams looking for that.
So that's the draft lottery. Going into the actual main draft, you had mentioned that there's a plan to hold it over 2 days with the first round and then subsequently the 2nd through 14th rounds after that. What's kind of the generalized strategy plan? Obviously, if the lottery pick ends up being a number 1 overall, that vastly changes your options and you kind of get whoever you want with that first pick. But is there a kind of general strategy going into the draft this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think our general strategy. First off, we're doing all our preparation now. We've been doing it all year. Even given being in quarantine and social distancing, we just did another Skype or Zoom interview earlier today with a player. So we're spending a lot of time getting to know the players and check on their character. But overall, it's going to be a player that we think can help us and that wants to be a part of a championship team. As early as next season, but over the next 3 years. So we're looking for players that have that, really tapping into the character piece and players that want to be a part of it. One question that Anthony had brought up that I think is great is, do you rather play first line on a last place team for the next 3 years, or would you rather be fourth line or third line on winning championships? And we want the guys that are willing to make certain sacrifices to be part of what we're building here. And that's our approach. And whether we win the lottery or not, whether we pick where we pick, we move up, we move back. We have 2 picks in the first round, currently 1 in the second, and it gives us a lot of flexibility.
Now, hand in hand with the draft weekend is the opening of the first trade period since the Christmas trade period. What have you been hearing? Obviously, a lot of GMs are kind of have a little bit more free time, and they might be going crazy, and they can't be in a rink somewhere watching an up and coming player. Is there? Do you find there's more chatter going around the league this year?
I might be one of those. I'm on my phone all the time. I've had a few GMs comment. They're like, "Boy, you're really early this year. You're usually early, but you're especially early this year." Look, we want to try to improve our team, and I think every GM's in the same boat. I think it's interesting. You're seeing a real shift around the league. Like last season in our conference, you had four of the top teams, four of the top five teams. And now you're seeing some of those teams start to enter the rebuild themselves. So you're seeing a bit of a pendulum swing in terms of who are the contenders and who are the ones now entering the rebuild. So I think that creates a lot of interest. I can say for us, I mean, I know that. So one other update: the trade period will open up on June 3rd to be able to start announcing trades. But our fans can look forward to currently two new additions to the Sea Dogs lineup. I can't disclose who they are yet, but we have two new additions to the Sea Dogs lineup that we'll be able to announce closer to the draft time.
You heard it here first. Now, that's the kind of main Q draft. There's also the U.S. draft that'll be happening this summer.
Yeah, so the Q draft is going to be the Friday night first round, and that's June 5th. Start likely around 6:30 and be broadcast online through the league channel. So it'll be great for our fans to be able to tune in, and especially a bit content starved right now. And then the rest, rounds 2 to 14, will be done on the Saturday morning. So there'll be some Saturday morning entertainment from I think 9 a.m. I think it'll be 8 a.m. our time on the Saturday, and then the U.S. draft will be the Monday. So it'll be 3 or 4 days in early June that our fans will have something more to talk about Sea Dogs and junior hockey.
That's a busy weekend. Fantastic. Now, with the end of the draft and the trade periods, that sort of marks the start of the upcoming season. Can you give any insight into kind of timelines or what the league or teams are looking at?
Yeah, I mean, the league's looking at a number of different options for that. We're planning to start the season on time and with our regular training camp and as normal as possible. We should have a tentative schedule here in the next few weeks from the league. That being said, I highly doubt that we're going to be actually starting it on time. And what it looks like, it's going to be a new normal around, not just around hockey, but around the world. So to sit here and start to say for sure it's going to be this date and it's going to be long of a season. So I think the season, I look forward to playing games in 2020-21 for our season. When that season starts, I'd be lying to you if I said I knew. And how many games we play in that season, I'd also be lying to you if I said I knew. So yeah.
Still very early, so I mean, we all want to be hopeful and say we're all going to start on time. But like you said, we don't know, so we just got to wait and be hopeful. Is there anything else you want to update our fans on, or anything that's going around the league that you want to make sure people know?
No, I just think it's important for our fans at this time. I mean, hockey is really important. Obviously, it's our livelihood. It's something that we all love and are really passionate about. But there's so much more going on around in our world that's concerning. And I just want to leave our fans with I hope that they're safe. I hope that they're well, and also want to acknowledge everything that's gone on in our neighbors in Nova Scotia the last 48 hours of great concern. So it's a challenging time right now in the world, and in North American hockey is just a small part of it. And just hope everyone's well and safe, and look forward to seeing everyone back at TV station soon.
Very well said, and thank you for your time and your insight on the upcoming dates. People will be looking forward to that, and we hope you have the lucky hand once again in the draft lottery. I'd assume the league will have some sort of rule change if you happen to win it back-to-back years with such small odds. So it'll be called the Trevor Georgie ping pong ball rule or something that'll come into effect for the 2020-21 season. But let's hope it doesn't come to that, even though we do hope to win.
When we do the video for the draft lottery, I'll have lots of Lucky Charms around me in the background, off screen.
People will be traveling just to, hug you or get a handshake, have some of the luck.
We can hope so.
Well,
We
thank you
could
so
use a
much.
little luck.
We could all use a little luck. Thank you so much, Trevor, and thank you to our guest earlier, Bukanji Imama, joining us as well on the show, guys. Next week we do have a packed show. Jonathan Huberdeau, current NHL star and former Sea Dog, will be here with us next week, so we can't wait for that. Same time, Monday, 7:30 Atlantic. Thank you again, Trevor, and we will see everyone next week.